Hi. Welcome to extremely late 9 Hammer Gaming. I think it's just Burn 420. Last seen deck today. Burn. Another modern Prelim. At least they're not trying to trick anyone. Missing a land for a great hand. Mulligan. This is a good hand. Burn, burn, burn. Good night, quiet night. I just decided to game. Key, put back ink mob, I think. Just going to play Prelim. Finger lead on Sentinel, like there's an argument for leading on Cigarro's aid. But I can draw a white source and then it's by turn 3, and if not, then it's also probably fine. If they're actually playing Baron, it's a bit spooky to lead on Horizon Canopy. Can go Sunfudge missing into 8 Hammer, right? Yes, we can do that too, so. No, not much reason to play Cigarro's 8 turn 1, yeah. Core outfit there. Guess Baron, I wonder if I don't want Shadow Spear instead. Think not. Yeah, Saga gets me the Shadow Spear on turn 4. Seems like opponent is in a pickle. What to do, what to do. They have 2 Rift Bolts. I go to 13, then I go to 7. Then Boros Charm will kill me. It's about the only thing. Hello, Cancer MTG. How are you today? Feel any better? Yeah, I only felt bad for one day. You don't die to Boros Charm. How? When I has 2 Rift Balls, I take 6, go to 8. Then I die to Boros Charm plus Baron Spell. That's what I meant. I don't know. I know it's just not just only that. Took your Zoomer Goblins list through a league yesterday and went 4-1. It felt pretty strong. Interesting. Anything you liked or disliked about it? Maybe I'll actually try it tomorrow because I built it. I'll build it upon the suggestions from chat and Zerk4 in the chat and others. And maybe actually I'll give it for a spin. Baron don't have Boros Charm Land Lava Spike Challenge 2017. Impossible. Also Searing Blaze kills me too, I guess now. What if I hadn't attacked? Searing Blaze lands spell. Hey, maybe they just won't have perfects. It's also a chance. And I think attacking to kill them on next turn seems pretty good. Although if we get a Shadow Spear hit, that's also good, but this way we don't need to rely on lifelink. So I think it's better to also kill them, not to extend their routes to Skull Cramp, etc. Fatsis was good. Grabbing Fear before it could do damage really helped. Ragavan was just okay. Hapa was finding enough removal to get him to connect. Early game though, it was a great at ramping. Okay.
Control player.
Seems like we win. But it's like, damn, maybe my hammer up point doesn't run Shadow Spear. To which I'm like, yeah, sure, bro. Maybe I don't. Or maybe I do. Let's find out. Oops, I do. Thank you, Luis Yakut, for your subscription. We don't play blue, so we don't have much to do against Deflecting Palm. I net decked X Whale from the previous Prelim. This gains 2 life. I mean, probably worth it as an option. Maybe not. Nah, it's probably not, because it requires you to fetch green, which I'm not gonna do. Could have Path to Exile, another Blacksmith skill. Path is so bad, though. I guess we can get Might and that plays around Deflecting Palm a bit. It can't kill Eidolon because exiles non-creature artifacts or non-creature enchantments, and Eidolon is a creature. Sanctifier too. I don't like Sanctifier out of Hammer versus Burn because, like, it's not like you're short creatures in play most of the time. And say 2 mana creatures, so it's too bad. Not sure if Caldra matters at all on the draw against Burn. Let's cut Caldra. What's the advantage of staying mono white? I don't know, bro. I actually don't know. Like, some people do play mono white hammer and they just do. And I'm not sure what, like, how much of stuff you gain, because it's roughly same thing, right? Yeah, you can play around Shadow Spear a little bit through. Well, they can prevent Shadow Spear, and then that prevents damage and then deals damage, so then you don't gain life back. We still have a splash. We still have a splash Shockland. It's Temple Garden this time. Definitely Blue Hammer is better against Living End, yeah. Normal Hammer is kinda sus against Living End. You're technically better off against Bloodwood. For what it's worth. Not much. Not nothing either. Yeah, Hammer is one of the best decks to have Orvar. Because you can't board Veil against Hammer, it's unreasonable. Even if they play the blue version. But I guess they are main deck Moon decks and you have more plays this way. But also against Red Black it mostly matters if you have Sanctifiers. I think, feels like. One of the better things. This deck just falls to Brotherhood's End. Which is a card that barely anyone plays, and also that is way of an overstatement to say that. Brotherhood's End this. Curious. Brotherhood's End these nuts. Well put. Probably won't need to make this many constructs, and getting a trigger earlier seems good. And don't want to lose life. That's 4 cards, I have 13 life. Yeah, my opponent's name just burned 420 and they're playing burn. That's pretty fair of them. Spain scored. Damn. This is insane. The funny part is they used to play slivers. I didn't know that part of the lore. So I played against them, yet I still didn't know the lore. Yet you did. Curious. I cast Boros Charm. Well played. Shit, wrong card. You would have gotten Spear. No, I just... Around Deflecting Palm, it doesn't do anything to get a Spear. Oops. Might be mistaken, but there should be a vote of you playing Sliver Mirrors against them. You're probably right, yeah. Sliver Mirror. Also, they let me draw. My opponent said, oh shit, wrong card. Oops. It's much you have far less life. To cast that one, yeah. Okay. So it would be 6, and then they would have Deflecting Palm, and then I would go to 5, make a construct, and if my opponent has a burn spell, then we probably have a draw. If I attack with all constructs and get deflected. That would seem to be the case. So you need to play another game. And then I palmed him, bro. In my end step. Deflecting Palm. 2 mana. Not rare. Older from 10 Cans of Tarkir, not Boros, not instant. Okay, so let's say Wild... No, Wild Mongrel can't be it. Uncommon, Sylvan Messenger. I don't know what that card does, but... Damn, bro. Older than the Vans Mask set. Paprykarz następny weekend. No jest paprykarz. I pojadę na niego grać, tak. So it's blue or black. 4 mana uncommon creature. Phantom monster. Okay, so it's a black uncommon 4-drop creature. I don't know many of those. Grave Defiler. Well, it has to be older than the Vans Mask. Gravedigger is from Corset 2020. Uncommon from Portal. Wow. Who knew that Gravedigger is from Portal? Oh snap, it was Gravedigger. Isn't there a BBB or BBBBBBB creature? Anyone claim that there isn't? No one claimed there is not one. When Gravedigger comes into play from your hand, you may choose to return a summon creature card from your graveyard pile to your hand. I choose to return a summon creature from my discard pile to my hand. Summon creature. I summon creature, bros. You ever summoned a creature? 2 sword, 2 shield, true. This is true. Just Burn 420 played plenty of slivers. They played Gleil Rider Sliver, Slidewinder Sliver, Striking Sliver, Cloud Shrapper Sliver, Dregscape Sliver, Leeching Sliver, Predatory Sliver, Senior Sliver, Unsettled Sliver, Frenetic Sliver, and Realm Walker. Realm Walker kind of foik Sliver. Dumping Matrix, that was a year ago. What is that for? Plenty of results with the deck, they really liked it. Just sat down in front of their computer and they were like, yeah, let's play slivers. And they always play the same list. Never change the card. What do you think they named with Realm Walker? Sliver. Modern Challenge. 5 to 10th place with slivers. Pow pow. Okay, they changed one Gravitygress Cage for one Dumping Matrix at some point. Here, after this prelim, they went 3-1. Oh, no, that's another person, sorry. What's Wubrugge? Oh yeah, slivers. Damn, 5 round prelims based. What's red green? You don't want to know. It's Baron with Hatarka's command. For Weather the Storm for the mirror. Nice. 2 Instant Brigade, 2 Rolling Vortex, 3 Cindervines somehow. Somehow Cindervines was prioritized over Rolling Vortex. For Surgical Extraction. It was in 2020. What was that meta? Like... Ura? If Ura existed and makes sense to play Surgical Extraction... It was Ura 2021. It feels like it was forever ago. Theros Beyond Death. 2020. Yeah, Ura was January 2020. So it was 4 extractions to extract Uras, I assume. Ura's gamer posture. And it's kind of weird, like, because this is his leg, this is also his leg, this is his arm. So the arm seems very distant from the rest of the body. I guess it's just 4 arms, so you could be doing this. Cindervine good versus all those control Uro decks. I guess. Those eyes. Too. When Uro enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. Do you remember reading Uro for the first time? Modern event. Decks to beat March 20. Tier 1, Burn Grixis Shadow, Giant Urzel Azitron, Snowbound Control. Tier 3. Free Ura, Tier 3 deck. For Astrolabe, Tier 3 deck. Which one of those decks got banned again? What did you play versus? We played against a person named Just Burn 420. They played Burn. Creatures Toolbox. Oh yeah, the Devoted Druid deck, that was a thing. Heliod Sandcrown, that's some weird build. Some Druids, Heliod combo deck. An Amulet with what, Field of the Dead? Yeah. Wait, play 4 Sakuras here? Was Grixis Shadow of Lurito? Oh, it was before Lurito, right? Because Lurus was 2020 April. What? Kurama Angler, Death Shadow, Snapcaster, Mage, Street Rave? That versus Uro? Two Timur Battle Rage. Wasn't there a Lurus plus Burn period? I don't know, Burn players just refuse to play Lurus. Giant? Croxa. Renan 6 was a Giant card. Urza 2 Emery, Archmage's Cryptic Command. 2 Tezzeret Agent of Bolas. What are those builds? Those are not typical builds of those decks. Sounds a little bit made up, but also pretty cool. Random 10 player events from NA, just bad data, yeah. I mean, everything NA related is bad. So also data, understandable. Their data is also of shoddy quality. How do you like Might and Hammer? I don't know yet. I net decked this list, played one game against this burn, I boarded it in because it gains life. And it didn't come up. Hard to say. Game Object Saga, what is that? What a deck. 4 Greased, Chatterfang, Collected Company. This deck is not too bad. It's not too good either, but it does some fun stuff. But it's also probably just straight up worse than Asmo decks to play Company. Although you have combos with the manufacturer that you can hit with Company. I don't know. It was a thing that created tons of clues and foods. You have an infinite combo if you assemble Lonnie's Academy Manufacturer, Chatterfang, and Cauldron Familiar. That kills a person. How was the Lotus Field League this morning? It was a prelim, not a league, and we went 4-0, so was solid. We have devastated the prelim. Even beating Mono Green in the final match. How do you see Rhine and Modern right now? With my eyes. Rhines is not a deck I particularly like. It's not a deck I particularly ever liked. So I don't have many thoughts about it. In general, like after having a little bit of a break from Modern, I came back and just kind of I see it's the same decks, like same builds. That was. I mean, all the formats are like same decks, of course, always. Can be new decks every time. But, I mean, the best modern deck is Murktide. That doesn't change, that is still kind of like unchangeable. Or just send me Mr. Chimba. I opened the link, but I'm not going to show it on stream. Pilk and cookies. Bro, did you know that Christmas is actually one big Coca-Cola advertisement in its entirety, just an ad? No, not only Santa, Christmas too. The entirety of that is just made up by Coca-Cola. People didn't celebrate Christmas before the 50s. Do you know money is just a slave propaganda? Well, if you put it this way. You know where I can buy some milk? At your local grocery store, you probably should be able to get Pepsi and milk. Then you can combine them. What about WW2 Christmas Peace thing? Retroactively added. I don't know, some way it was, you know, they took care of that. Minecraft. Okay, is this some kind of a 2D game? Is it Stardew Valley? I think we already guessed Stardew Valley. I don't know why it pulls my screen like entirely to the bottom if I click on this. Okay, let's do it this way. Vampire Survivors? It is not Vampire Survivors. Unless it is. How is it Vampire Survivors? I played that game and that's not how it looked. I mean, I only ever seen this. Developer Luca Jalante. Guess I just never get past the first level. Shows how much of a gamer I am. Pokemon. It does not seem to be Pokemon Scarlet. Dishonored. No. PC Switch. PC Switch. Interesting. Neon White. Damn. Never heard of Neon White. On the second thought, I've had enough of this place. Release 2022. Okay, I've seen this screenshot. Locked on, say your prayers. Elevate, clean up. Was it, what is it, a JRPG? Shooter platformer. Let's watch a review. Neon White review. Or even type 3 wave. Let's go Egan review. Card based. Do you have cards? So odd. Canny question mark, well put. Characters in Neon White are very horny for each other. Understandable. Very true. It's a good piece of dialogue. Hmm. It seems fun. Maybe I'll add it to the list of the games I will never actually buy and play, but it looks cool. A stack of papers has to be papers, please, because it's papers. Oh snap, it was not. 2 moons. Let's go moon. Moon? PC, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One. Life is Strange. With dead whales. Let's go Life Strange before the storm because of the whales. Alright, this Life is Strange. Is Life Strange, bros? Maybe. This is... Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I didn't remember the name of the game, but I thought it was the like 2D Dark Souls like themed, church themed, or rather crusade themed, I don't know. Also base game, I've actually played all of those games. Damn. There's nothing other than life, so nothing more normal than life. Good point. Whenever I pick up my Switch to play games, I'm like, damn, there's so many of those interesting games I wanted to check out, and I play Slay the Spire. And I enjoy myself thoroughly. And so this year, I picked up Slay the Spire early this year, and I played 300 hours of Slay the Spire throughout the year. 275 hours. It counted, so that does seem like an hour of Slay the Spire per day. Damn. Roughly. Sick. Switch games too expensive, true. Slay the Spire on Switch also costs like 3 times as much as the one on PC, and I bought both. Okay, so this is some paper. Buy them on second-hand market. I just buy them in the eShop for convenience. TBH. If I buy games. Brick? Anyone up for a tasty brick sandwich, bros? Let's go. Cool bricks. PC. Surgeon Simulator. Kentucky Route Zero. Damn. Is that a base game, or does this one not so based? Pew. Overwatch. 89%. Some meteors. Or maybe it's some kind of a robot suit. Damn, you're pretty good at it. Portable underscore head. Pretty good guesses. Sky. Let's go. Earth and Sky. No. Crisis. Shit, but which one? No Man's Sky. It is not No Man's Sky. This is for PC. I don't know what's that. Even some rock. That small people game. I think Subnautica already was there. No, it wasn't. Damn. Sick. Let's go. We are on the draw, but we go. Pretty good hand. I think we keep. I play Scalding Tarn. Okay. Congrats. Good job. I play Esper Sentinel. If it's creativity and they have Ren, I would play my Sentinel now, I feel like. If it's a bold Ragavan deck, then I would also prefer to play Sentinel now. Galvanic Blast, interesting. So, it's that grinding session breach deck. It would appear. Ledger Shredder. Okay. Decent start. Will we let them connive? I think we will. I'm very limited on white mana. And my hand is white heavy. Will we see Underworld Breach summon Mishra's Bubble from the graveyard? What if Ledger Shredder got a -1/-1 counter whenever you discard a land, but a +1/+1 whenever you discard a spell? Wouldn't that be a sick design? Instead of being mono upside, we'd make it heavy risk. That would limit design space. Sure, bro. Limits my design space us. I think we are a little bit screwed. My opponent's opening was pretty powerful and I have no place to make. Players are adverse to risk, true. But should they be? You have to redo all the connive creatures then. Sure, I mean just change connive, right? What if you had an ancestral recall? Blue mana, roll a dice. 2 to 6, you draw 3 cards, blue instant, and 1, you discard your hand instead. Would that be a good card in Modern? Or of in Dredge. You discard your hand to exile. Let's say. Whatever. Okay, so you roll a 20-sided dice and it's 1 to 19, you draw 3. And 20, you ante your deck and you immediately lose the game, and your opponent gets to take your entire deck. Nice song. Wow, sounds great design. Yeah. Sounds good in my view, like drawing 3 cards is basically winning. I wonder what's the win rate in Vintage after resolving an Ancestral. It's probably high, but it's not impossible to win. I think I lose this game. How do I want to sideboard against Breach? If only Mort was still working, you would know the answers to these pressing questions. Yeah. Wonder if it's like Cruise where the second one is the worst. What do you mean? How is second Cruise worse? Like resolving second Cruise is less likely to win than the first one, or what? Like less impactful, you mean? This stops their Breach. Don't lose the first but the second. Leyline question mark. I always appreciate your great questions, Valek Seimu. Against Breach. What do I want to do? I don't particularly want Blacksmith skill super much. They play Saga. Can screw them with March a bit. It's not good against much else. I think I don't want to sideboard much. I don't know if Caldra does anything, or Nettlesus if it does anything. Nettlesus doesn't feel like it does much. What Hammerhead do you have? Maybe one Haywire Might versus Breach. And Sagas, that sounds good. 2 Blacksmith skills sounds like an okay number. Sis is curable. Okay. I think I don't want to sideboard much. Scaldra seems like it can do some stuff. Cuttable. Okay, cuttable is different than curable, yeah. What's the win rate of game where your opponent casts Ancestral? Your Ancestral response, they force you plaster. Should be close to 100%. Yeah, that is probably close to 100%. This can be kept on the play if you like. What's the win rate of winning the game? It's gonna be 100%. It's pretty obvious, right? It's a stupid question. What's the win rate of winning, bro? Yeah, like... You think you're also funny by asking a question like this? By being like, what if I ask an obvious question, but like I will conceal it as a... Actually not a genuine question, but rather a... I would conceal it as a genuine question, but actually we all know the answer. What's the win rate of turn 2 Saga? On the play. If you draw a land in this draw step, it's pretty low. It's a Gachi Hydra. It contains all the Anikis. Not even sure if I should play the hammer. Probably not, but it's gonna make my construct not die to bolt next turn, so. Do they even play bolts? I guess they don't. They really play bolt. They play Galvanic Blast. They typically play Unholy Heat first. Man, what if he actually has all these stats from MTGO? If they publish monthly pairs in 3s of different formats, it would be amazing content. Oh no, I gotta march my Saga. Or something stupid like that. E is a concerned post board. I probably should have boarded Needle. That's true, they play E. I'm not sure if what you see has its data, or if they track it. Okay, prismatic ending is whatever. Paladin is a good draw. They start the game logs, they can always query it. The thing with the game logs, at least in the way that they are retrievable on the user end, they're actually fairly limited in what they log. More towards a program that's up kept by a modern streamer at that time, Pierre Accor, Mono Blutron player and streamer. It was short for Magic Online Replay Tool. It took the replays and it like extracted and gave you the data of like what cards were the winningest in your games, etc. Which were not. What's that? Werther, bro. Why upkeep? That just can't be right. Urza's artifact. Very good question. And the logs, they actually, if a player dies, if a player loses the game, that information is not in the log, for example. So their log just ended, and he had a system, he built a system where the program was asking the user, like they prompted the like last few actions from a game and asked if that player lost or won when it wasn't clear. Because sometimes it just wasn't clear. Like only concessions were visible in the logs. Because those just appear in the log like canister concealed the game. While if there was a lightning bolt on the stack, it just had to assume that that bolt was targeting the player and the game was ending, but it was not always clear enough that it was easy. Bros, I'm getting destroyed. Is that a bad matchup? The breach deck. But you just can't win anymore. I mean, my draw was also not super. Many matchups can feel pretty shit with hammer if you draw badly. What is this? What? That's what you're doing? Bros is hammer based to an extent. Why did they take 12 damage? 13 damage. This game feels like we're ahead. Because they used their bomb for no reason. They didn't need to use the bomb. Hey Kaneki, tomorrow I'm playing my LCQ with Phoenix. Any tips for the red-black matchup? It's all in the guide. I don't know much more than it's in the guide. Play well, and it's gonna be a little bit of a bad matchup, but you can win it. What you doing, bro? Fury? How am I this evening? Good. Really good. Oh no, EE is in the graveyard now. They milled EE. I think taking the draw against red-black might be legit. No cap legit. Okay, Ginger Brute of the top. This is not a Ginger Brute. Well, opponent could have spellbound again, but I don't know. Like, they could spell him again, and they probably should prevent 12 damage loss, not to die to stupid stuff. This is not Ginger Brute. I'm pretty dead. I mean, drawing Treasure Cruise is good versus red-black, but you need to draw it at the correct time too, so that it doesn't get fotsy. So it's not as simple as draw Treasure Cruise. Nice grape shot. I believe we are on a so-called no outer. Ornithopter does not help. Maybe I should play a few more leagues with the breach deck. Breach combo is a little bit bad. But the deck is not that bad. Average hammer gameplay. It does happen to me plenty when I like just kind of play. Draw 6 lands, die. Even set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands and Saga. It's very easy to have a hammer hand that doesn't actually do anything. Like, I know the deck is strong, but kind of happens often to me that doesn't do anything. Which is a bit concerning every time for me when I play it. You have to mulligan a bit. You have to be open to the idea of mulliganing with hammer. That just has to be the case, so if you do that, then you're fine. Just be a skilled player if you're not like Laplacian and always 8+2 hammers, yeah. Seems to be an answer. Third path Iconoclast. I hate Iconoclast and Sagas. A bit. Well, the Shredder is not super base in that deck, it's just mostly a way to spend Saga mana. You can try the Iconoclast. Deck contains scarce non-legal and modern Aether Spellbomb. Oh yeah. Spellbomb in the sideboard actually. Curious. You can play Grape Shot. Instead of Oracle, play Giganta. That doesn't always work. Damn, I don't know. My opponent played Grape Shot this game. I think Grape Shot is okay. Like the combo, if you just treat it as marginal enough. Aether Spell. This is so annoying that like what Modo does, it just doesn't allow you to import the deck at all. Just contains either Spellbomb, but just import it without the card you can recognize. Excuse me, what is that game you were playing before? We were watching a review of Neon White. Neon White. Neon White. We didn't actually play it, but it looked interesting and maybe I'll play it, but probably never will come around to do that. But yeah, Saga is annoyingly terrible in this deck. Otawara is interesting, but it doesn't bounce when you need it. Oh, there's a prototype Moxamber, right? On Modo that we can get now. Should definitely look into that to improve our collection. Do you own any euros or just złotys? Złotys. Very, very good question. Two grinding stations in the main deck. Guess if you want to play Emery, you can mill towards the station, just have it as an option, play Breach as a value card often enough. Yeah, makes sense. Maybe we're gonna play this deck tomorrow. I think I haven't played it much. So we could actually give it a proper go finally. Ruin to cut a sideboard card. I guess I don't need this many mocks, and just can have an E in the main deck. Simple. Playing 3 Mox Amber is like the cringiest thing that people do. I think I'd prefer the Spellbomb main deck though. Than E probably. More generically applicable. Hands up, hands up, hands up. The end of Urza's saga fetching his brother's desk is something. It's pretty funny, yeah. He can kill so many things though. In this deck, a 0 mana artifact is a thing you can sacrifice to grinding station to combo. So it's fine. Largely fine. Do you not have Mox Amber? What kind of a bot is that with no cards? Yeah, I never thought about this. This is pretty sick. Urza's saga finishes. And he grabs his brother's desk. He's like, I hate you, Mishra. While grabbing the desk. I imagine the desk, they like, Mishra's moving and they just like, Mishra asks his brother Urza to help him move the heavier furniture, amongst which is the desk. I guess Urza's saga already grabbed Mishra's bauble pretty often, but the desk is funnier. I still like creativity to an extent, but people play Orvar nowadays. Speaking of, free spell pierce is a little bit extreme to Mystical Dispute. The Ferte Fairy. You don't actually need the Ferte Fairy, but you need an Orvar all form. Yeah, that's good. Co robisz, kotek? Zrzuciłeś mi długopis, Hereruja? No nieźle, nieźle. Although I think the new card, Brothers, no, Bitter, no. Bitter Dispute, no. Oj, przepraszam. Bitter Union, that is kind of a based enabler for creativity. Hasting the Fable tokens to get out of underneath Blood Moon. Hasting Archons to kill your opponent. Hasting, discarding Archons for Persist. That is just kind of all around pretty great fit for the deck. Good stuff in general. Oh yeah, discarding with Ren for a powerful 2-mana draw 2, like people play iteration, so like discard land from Ren draw 2 is same thing, right? So I probably will retry creativity with that card someday. Definitely with Persist though, because the Transmogrify is the worst card you could ever play. What's the Polish equivalent to this song? I don't know. What does this song represent to you? No. I don't know if there is a Polish equivalent. We lost to this deck. They had Shredder and not Iconoclast. But we're gonna play Breach tomorrow in a Prelim. There is a Prelim at 1 PM, so we're gonna stream that. Play it. For sciencefulness. We also want to try Zoomer Goblins with Ragavan and Fury, and less terrible goblins, and a curve that resembles a curve instead of a hand giving you a middle finger. A Twitch chatter at the beginning of the stream said that they tried this deck in a league and it was actually not too bad. Either a Spellbomb always seems underplayed to you, but maybe overrated. Like in Blue-White Hammer. And Hammer, there is the problem of the fact that you have cards that... Thank you for the rate spike. In Hammer, you have that problem of the fact that you... The weaker draws of Hammer are full of terrible cards that don't do anything by themselves, and you draw like a land or 2 lands too many, Ether Spellbomb, and Ornithopter, and your hand doesn't do anything. So Ether Spellbomb would, like, playing more Ether Spellbombs would seem to... accentuate that problem? I don't know, maybe it doesn't actually, because it cycles. And otherwise your terrible cards are what? Like Giver of Runes, drawn late. More like Pooh Nietzsche's Expert. Is that a wordplay? I googled Pooh Nietzsche's and I got Ariana Grande Possession song. Well, it's not a good protection spell, but I assume you wouldn't even mean to use it like that, but it's interesting. Maybe it could be okay. Like, after all, we're kind of splashing a color for Haywire Might right now, which is a similar... Well, I don't know if it's similar, but it's like similarly an interaction spell of the saga, and I guess other spellbomb is kind of the same. As Merktide, you do rely on Merktide being untouchable by Hammer a lot. I show the goblins list, sure. I mean, the sideboard is not put super much thought into, but... How worth is it to play Orvar? It's pretty worth. Like in Goblins, you can tutor Orvar with Matron, so it's super worth 1 slot, and you get great returns for spending 1 slot on that. How worth is it to play Ragavan if what you have to let it through is Starfires? A bit less clear. But it's like an effective turn 1 play, and Goblins, I think, suffers the most from the fact that it passes turn 1 and makes an irrelevant War Marshal play on turn 2 a lot. So we'd be trying to amend that a little bit by introducing a Ragavan. So you can go Ragavan and pressure your opponent from the start. Thoughtseize to also make meaningful plays for 1 mana. And the price is that your goblin density is not high enough to play the goblin that reveals 5 and you reveals 4 and you take all the goblins whose name escapes me in this very moment. But you can just Matron, Tutore, Loitant. It's fine, I guess. I wouldn't play War Marshal though. Feels like a card only worth it with Prospector. Well, it's worth with Expert. Well, okay. It supposedly works with Expert, Trashmaster, or Loitant. But it's true, it does not do too much. Probably this is already better. Munitions Expert is also a little bit sketchy and not really a card I actively want to play too much because I don't want... Like, it's not gonna deal that much damage. Even if you have plenty of War Marshals, it's pretty... You know, it deals 3 damage, but it's on turn 3. It's pretty slow. This is not goblins. Okay. It is nice to vial an expert. I think I would agree with that, but the consistent problem I've run into when playing goblins was the fact that there are also games where I don't have vial. And I don't know if it's viable necessarily to plan for the games where you don't have the vial to this to as much of an extent as this list is trying to do so, because maybe it just gives up too much in most of the places, but was a thought I had. Hand like this, you can play Kaldra, draw a card, and equip it to Memnite, but you'd also need more mana to get so I think we're gonna move this, and we're gonna get insta-punished by a shit hand. Should be a fine keep. I had a second land, but I want to play, so it doesn't seem justifiable to keep this putback Stoneforge. I think Multi 5 is gonna be better, unfortunately, than what we have here. I mean, if I were to top deck, with this type of a hand in paper, I actually check my top card. when I say mulligan, I check my top card and I'm like, damn, bro. Or like, yeah, good thing I mulliganed. And we are rewarded with, well, we're also punished. Use fall lens IRL, so they are curly. I do use foil lens sometimes, but I also use foil non-lens. I'm gonna keep this and you're gonna keep turn to Nettle Cyst, I think. That's the only reasonable way to play this hand. This deck is not the same hammer play versus me. What is wrong with it? I don't know, it is what it is sometimes. Without Urza's ingenuity, the wings would have never borne weight. Without Misha's courage, we would never have known the machine's true potential. This sounds like Urza did the engineering and she just wanted to say something nice about Misha too. I hope this persuades them to work together more. Should I play Nexus first, maybe? If I draw Saga? I don't think it matters if I draw Saga. I would have kept the Paladin bottom the Thopter, I think. That's a way to do that too, yeah. If we drew this, that would have worked. I wanted a hand that's going to powerfully play turn to Nettle Cyst and hope that it's gonna be enough to kill my opponent, but it might be wishful thinking that it's gonna beat them. If I put back the Paladin, I'm aiming to play. Well, I'm also expecting my opponent not have removal. They move to 5-2. It seems like they play Merfolk, I probably would have been better off having drawn the land, but we'll see. In general, I also enjoy keeping an Equiper if I can, but in this particular hand, it seemed to not make sense to me. Vial. You even want to wish? Could go for infection. Not really. Doesn't seem realistic at all. That one Nettlecyst number 2. I don't have 2 Nettlecysts. I'll grab the Shadow Spear and I'll just kill them with Nettlecyst alone. Five lifelinker. Why are you hearing Japanese? Because it's a song request stream and people request songs they wish to hear. And we have some weebs in the chat. Wait, that was not the weebs that detected emote. Weeb spotted. Oh, okay. I've never been to Japan. I wish to go sometime. Visit. Maybe. I think it would be nice. Hi Canister, can I send you a DM somehow on Discord? On Discord. On Twitch. You can send me an email at canistermtg@gmail.com. Would you go play MTG? If there was a tournament I would go play MTG, yes. Can I MySpace you? Unfortunately, I don't have a MySpace account. But Discord is a good way to DM. Incoming friend request. Okay, accept that. This is MySpace. Does MySpace exist? MySpace. This is how MySpace looks now, bros. Enter a name or artist, profile type, all genres. Charlie X6 shares full crash track listing. If I say best in music culture in one place, if I say media site, like what's social media site? Was I mistaken? What about LinkedIn? I think I accidentally created a LinkedIn account, and I sometimes get emails that somebody added me on a LinkedIn account. I'm like, bro, why you do this? And they like I don't know, my space is like my LinkedIn is empty and has nothing because I never worked a traditional job in my life. And they like add me with their like 7 job titles and lengthy descriptions. I'm like, wow, cool, bro. How do you accidentally create one? I don't know. I didn't really mean to make it, but yet I have one. Made one. Okay, if they interrupt me again on the next turn, then it's gonna be a problem, but we're gonna have Giver untapped. Sorry, streamer, but when I am supposed to side the Fable of Kikijiki in the Goblin sideboard? Thanks. It's pretty simple. It's for the grindy matchups. I thought it's apparent, but Fable is a little bit of a, let's say, no kurwa spierdalaj no, tym cofaczem już cofał cały czas, daj mi se siana. You're meant to put in the grindy matchups. It's a placeholder card of sorts, just play it over. Play what you need over it. Go to 12 and I block a guy. They have 9, 11. They can attack. Could even not block next turn if we are feeling frisky. A Lord is gonna kill me anyways, right? If we block a4, this is 1, 2, 3. Plus 8, 11. Not quite. Let's see the level of confidence with which they attack. But they don't have a free drop. They don't have lands. They could just draw lands. They could possibly have a 2 drop, but they didn't have a free drop. They might have a 4 drop. That would be sad. Choose not to use Ether Vial's ability. Also look at the game log. J Small chooses not to use Canister's ability for this vial, but chooses not to use Ether Vial's ability for the other Ether Vial. It's curious that it happened, but only for one of them. But the second one was fine. Thank you for the raid. Metal Huarnes. I don't think we have a great chance of beating a Lord, so let's not block. Because we can't draw a hammer to equip, so we're just gonna have to win this game with the shit, little shits. I'm gonna go to 1, then attack them for 7 to 8, then play a Giver. Tight Shopper, okay. You have 7 power. Could have Ocean power, 9 power. Or we could attack with Giver and re-equip to Mem Knight. Make a big Mem Knight blocker. Then we go to 8 and we make an 8 lifelinker, and if they can't break through it, then they attack. I block a 3 power creature. Cancel out stuff. I survive, definitely. I have 1 card. We assume it's a blank. They played a Tide Shaper on this turn. Did they tap out on the last turn, the previous turn? I don't think so. I don't remember. Possible they held their Tide Shaper. What's in their hand? That makes sense. Hopefully it's force of negation. It was force of... Yeah, we can assume it's force of negation. So we can assume they have nothing. Merfox played that. So naturally we attack. And moving seems good. Vapors, I'm gonna die to like anything that's playable anyway, so I don't need to think about what they have, besides the fact they have fossil. No nie, it's mordo, no, co tak siedziałeś? Trickstera, dobrałeś, jeszcze będziesz mi tu jakieś pierdoły robił. Super, skillowo zagrałeś, no, zajebiście dobrałeś. Bardzo dobrze. Super, robi wrażenie. Actually, I think they tap this. We move the Nettles Shadow Spear to another guy. We block the 3 per creature. We can just have 1 life. Mordo, no jak można tak czupić? I have 1 life. Can you draw anything? I don't think so. Maybe Blacksmith skill? No. At least Merfolk should be an okay matchup. Opponent managed to draw like multi 5 with me, but didn't miss any draws. Will they play EE? I don't know. Do you want Blacksmith skill? I don't know. Giver of Runes seems kinda medium, given they don't play much removal. Esper Sentinels are decent artifacts, so we can play that. They could play Chalice of the Void. Could play March as a bad removal. Could play Path as bad removal. Skill versus some dismembers of the Merfolk effects. I think 2 sounds roughly like the amount I would like to have access to. So I'll cut the Giver of Runes for the removals. We could have Needle to name Vial / but naming Vial is a SAS strat plus explosives, but they don't play explosives. It's a 1 color deck. Besides that, all of the cards in my deck seem playable. I don't know about Kaldra, but maybe it's okay on the play. They should have a little bit of trouble dealing with it. Maybe give her better than Esper Sentinel. I think with the artifact typing I favor Esper Sentinel. But maybe it's not even. Maybe it doesn't save it. I mean, Alright, I guess it's too late. This is a solid hand. Play needle. Why do you want to play needle? What prompts you to want to play needle? Vial Mutavolt. Maybe it's like a random artifact that's better than Sentinel. Maybe play Chalice on 0 or something. Let's play the Mem Knight. Time to get spell snared. I don't know. Naming Ether Vials is sassy strat. Not leading on aid. Well, if I lead on aid, I can attack for one. If I lead on Stoneforge, I can attack for one more. You afraid of Spell Pierce? Damn. Since I have the Paladin, I wasn't afraid. But opponent got me good. What happens in the brain of a Merfolk player? What prompts them? What makes them play the deck? What pushes them to do so? Well, I don't know if they play Chalice. Anyways, I just said that's maybe a thing, but who knows, honestly. Maybe they like fishing in their free time, maybe. There is unironically a fairly active Merfolk community, I believe. Jak w TB. Let's not get force of negotiation. Jakby w chuja diabła cię szarańcza. And let's attack with 11 points of power on this Memnite. They don't block Pots Combat, we move to Stoneforge Mystic, I believe. If they bounce my Stoneforge Mystic, like they dismember my Paladin, mouse my Mystic. There was this content creator that appeared in my timeline that just did Merfolk tips. Yeah. At least Fish seems more fun and interesting with Tricksters and Tideshapers, and the past when it was just like 10 Lords. That's a good point. It is, I guess, different nowadays. Do you think the Merfolk players like the new Black Panther movie? I don't know what's Black Panther movie. If Murktide is the best modern deck, what's the number 2? Let me tell you. Give me a minute. It's Hammer. Why Stoneforge Mystic? Because the removal for my Hammer creatures comes in the form of bounce spells. So if they bounce my Stoneforge, then I will get to trigger the enters the battlefield effect once again. And I'm hungry for those. I think Murktide is the best. I have not found a compelling argument against that. Play aid. Plus you want artifacts for metalcraft. Yeah, that would be true if they would be able to kill my Memnite, but that doesn't seem true. We play Dismember. True. I mean, I guess against Dismember, I probably should equip Paladin. That's maybe your point, which probably is true, TBH. Yeah, I'm also not sure what's the best. In general, lots of not sure here. Not sureness. We draw a powerful card, March of Otherworldly Light. Can show their merfolks who rules. Vapor Snag, okay. The one reason Merfolk could be okay is that nobody's experienced playing versus it. Played countless times against Merfolk in my rich history of playing Modern. So I have all the experience I could have against them. And they always win. Yeah. As evidenced by the lack of any clips where I lose to Merfolk, especially under Merfolk 2 commands. You can't find that here. Oh shit. Rewriting the history unsuccessfully. What was Merfolk 2 then? And why doesn't it work? And what is my point doing? Please pass the priority to me. I want to take my turn and play. You can draw. I don't think it's important to do now. Base draw. Any thought to master shaper and try to kill with infects? Oh yeah, I could do that. Good point, damn. We do that next time. Oh yeah, we won, bros. We have defeated the merfolks. So let's have the givers for unblockable alone, and let's cut the sentinels. But we cut one blacksmith skill because it seems kinda low. Needle, and I guess sentinel for artifact count comes back. Maybe the haywire might instead of sentinel. Alright, let's go. Ugh. It does seem like the amount of non-creature spells in their deck is relatively low, which is fairly understandable for a hammer deck, for a merfolk deck. I mean, I guess it's a keep. We move to 6. It's a bit of a sassy hand, though. Why not play the blue-white version of the deck? From what I'm told, it's a better build. It's because I net decked user X Whale from a Prelim yesterday. He went 3-1. And I'm actually not sure myself. Let's fin the deck. I'm not sure myself what makes what makes a person play mono white over blue white, because it actually seems like mono white has few advantages. Green is a very light splash for there's one haywire might in the sideboard, and there is a temple garden for that. This is potentially a little bit excessive. I was afraid of chalicing, but I just died shapering. Okay. Oh yeah, you got more horizon lens. That's the best thing about not playing blue, because blue doesn't have access to that. Yeah. Could have played Synchro next to Cigar that day, not sure here. But true, the horizon lens are the biggest gain. That was what I was missing. Because there's no blue-white horizon land as of yet. Maybe there will be one in the future, maybe not. I did expect them in Modern Horizons too, but they weren't there. Maybe saving for Modern Horizons 3. Hopefully there is no Modern Horizons 3. I had to break it to you, bro, but it's gonna be Modern Horizons 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Most likely. What about 10? I don't know. They miss a land drop. Yes. I seems worth to destroy the Vial. They have 3 cards, miss land drop. What's the thing with Inkmoth again? If you equip Hammer to an animated Inkmoth, it loses flying. If you activate Inkmoth again afterwards, it becomes a 1/1 Phyrex and Blinkmoth artifact creature with flying and infect until end of turn, so it has flying again because of layers. Will Paper die if Modern becomes available in Arena? No, it's gonna die sooner. At that rate. Seems pretty obvious. Because of timestamps. Well, timestamps are related to layers. In the way. Because if things happen in the same layer, it's timestamps. I think. I'm not actually super sure if what I'm saying is correct, because I might be making stuff up. If Wizards contacted you to promote their 30th anniversary collector set, what would you have done? Well, it depends. I'll ask how much they pay, probably. Couldn't hear the answer because of ads. Ironic. What happens if I play Colossus Hammer now? Let's see. I'm not sure. Seems like it equips to my guy and I draw a card. It's kinda expected, TBH.
He's a phenomenal control player.
I think he's a phenomenal control player, every time he needs to really plan ahead, and the tiny edges, really, that's something that he knows how to exploit.
Well put. This is a bit problematic, but the path still is gonna force him to do stuff, so I think we can go Giver and Gingerbread and hope to block. We don't have an island. And we don't quite need to block just yet. And if they sacrifice anything that's meaningful in combat, and as far as them killing me, and then hopefully I'll be able to do stuff. And with Giver unblockable next turn, we have a plan. Even if they play the bouncer now or something. Like that. Yes, Inkmoth can give me Metalcraft. Very nice. What deck do I own in paper now? I own most modern cards. Not really. Well, yes, I probably do own most of the modern cards. Of times current and past. I don't know. They have another one of the lords. Probably gonna need to give up Giver. Okay, if that happens, then you can just not block. Because they can add +4 damage. Because the Lord only adds 2 damage. Which means that we get to keep Metalcraft and the Giver. So we can give unblockable from blue if needed. Not from Mutavot. Can animate Inkmoth though. Can give Gingerbrute to haste unblockable. Wield the hammer. Okay, so we're gonna draw probably lands as it is expected. So what could they have? I don't know, like Trickster, Dismember. This is where you can gain free life with Gingerbrute, which doesn't seem to matter, but I don't know, bro. Assume you die. Blue one. Haki's Recall. They don't die. They want to gain free. A 4 life. think I want to gain the life. We have the 8, so we re-equip hammer. They have spell pierce in their deck. At least they had it, but now the game got actually complicated again. Because we also played this pre-combat. True.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Hammered bro.
It's good that we don't have an island through. See, blue-white hammer would have lost here. You're playing many things to tap out, they're gonna just straight up kill you. Also, it seems like the Merfolk playing adventure is very consuming for them. Buka. True. Wow, really? That's your plan? Just die? Admirable. It's my plan too, yeah. You ever just die? Oh, die, spokój. Or do they play Godshot? Now, bros. Did they play Godshot in Merfolk? Now I got mind bended. We could play around Godshot pretty well by equipping hammer onto this, but I haven't thought of it in time. Equip hammer on this, block, give protection on this, take 3. Godshot sideboard. Lord of Atlantis. Tournament modern. Let's see if there was a popular Merfolk finish with Godshot on the sideboard. No decks found. Last 3 months. No decks found. Alright, they don't have Godshot. Unless they're gonna play Godshot against me. No, they don't play Mutajank for sure. Mutajank is non-sexual. If they have the Godshot, then bros. Did they play land this turn? Maybe it's just... They just wanted me to play around end of land drop into bounce my guy. Deal 1. Yeah, that would also work. Give her better than Sentinel confirmed. Don't fetch. I managed not to. Okay, no Godshot. Alright, quick break. I'll be back in a few minutes, bros. Not gut shotted. Big achievement. O Danielakos. On the player keep. So he changed my opponent doesn't have to remove us. It's thin the deck. Because I don't want to flood. Go Giver and then Giver kill. Then I go Pursuit Paladin. And I play Shadow Spear, draw a card, and this moment I basically win. Are you fat shaming your deck? No. Just saying that I'm thinning it by performing the action of fetching on turn 1. But no shame about that. Yes, removal spell number 2. Now I draw a planes and I die. Perfect. Good matchup, bros. I don't like my odds now. Two removals, imagine, yeah. I could keep on playing, but I could also not. I'll utilize the protection monsters. Now utilize blacksmith skills. I'll cut Ornithopter. Sea Sharper's Gift. A Springleaf Drum. And I'll submit the deck. Oh, I needle too, I forgot. Get another Memnite. YOLO. Your opponent has set perfect information on the top card of your library every turn. They use the bubbles on themselves. No, they actually use the bubble on me. This hand gets nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. This hand gets somewhere. I like it. I will keep Memnite in case of Ravagan. Could play turn 1 Hammer, but is there a good reason to? I don't think there is a good reason to. Could play turn 1 Memnite. I probably should have, but I was too busy clicking away. Let's thin the deck. Okay, -1 damage basically. I think on the play we're gonna fetch Kaldra. Exactly, too busy not playing my hammer to play Memnite. Gonna fetch Kaldra to make my... Oh, is it Kaldra? Yeah, it's Kaldra. Because then I need to answer the Stoneforge and then we like play the constructs and I need to spend a removal on the Stoneforge. It's good. Don't need Nettle Cyst. Buka. They wouldn't keep a hand without removal. Well, but just they need to spend the removal on the Stoneforge now, which I think favors me because they don't get to keep it for later. And the Nettle Cyst doesn't like provide value immediately, and I get to spend mana on using Saga anyways. That's my thinking. Let me know in the comments if it's flawed and wrong. Could have a Dresden, then I guess I might lose my Saga and I have nothing. Which is when I would like Nettle Cyst. Seems like Explosivus is the card instead.
He's a phenomenal control player.
We do have needle in the deck, yeah. Nice. Pass priority. What does 4-0 and 3-1 in the prelim give you? It gives me 20 or 40 qualifier points, some play points, and some chests. The qualifier points are way too complicated to explain to you right now, so I can't. I think we save the hammer for the next game. Can just draw Cigarette's 8, so. Leave my Mem Knight alone, bro. Prelims used to be fairy tickets, prelims used to be 5 rounds, prelims used to not exist even at some point. I guess actually throughout the majority of Magic the Gathering's history, they did not exist. Remember dailies? I remember dailies. I partially ruined my college because of the dailies, because I was like, yeah, I guess there's a midnight daily, I have to play it. Then I was had trouble waking up early. I want to play the hammer now to make the Murktide block. Maybe. What unit I attend? I was studying physics in Poznan for a year. And I was studying some different stuff too for a year too, but I mean, it was studying mostly. I was playing lots of Modo in reality. I'm afraid we're going to die. Good matchup, bros. Yeah, good matchup. Where Lurus? Lurus is gone. Went to the farm, yeah. Why not equip hammer? Sure, simply equip hammer. Why not? Simply equip. If I have gotten Nettlesys over the Caldera, maybe it was been okay. Maybe I would have actually survived. Or won even. So maybe it was a fraud to get the Bionickel. Couldn't equip because the stack wasn't empty. Doomwake, that's a great joke. But it actually was empty. I noticed that you died to a Baron spell. White has a lot of life gain spells. Why don't you play those? But yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, there are people who perform with Hammer. They for sure exist, but personally, I think it's been always mid for me. It's interesting. Many draws are super shitty. Maybe you're just bad. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I probably am. Turn on decks today. Are you streaming, Doomwake? If you're streaming, we can raid you, but if you're not streaming, then your opportunity has been lost. In 1 hour. Okay, we're finishing now. Tomorrow I'll play Breach and maybe Based Goblins. But I will see. If I feel like playing Based Goblins, I'll play them, but otherwise I won't. Breach Archon. No, I mean Breach, Underworld Breach combination with Grinding Station Jeskai. And we're gonna go and play something else in some other format. Maybe some Pioneer decks that are nice. Maybe Heroic. Stay hydrated, bros, and see you tomorrow. Thank you for all the subs.